I'm going to hit it real quick. Hold up.
Okay.
Okay. Here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Officially, the very first Gully Booth. This is a new...
I thought the namaste thing was
Took the poster down.
Yeah, that's alright, yeah. That's fire.
Yeah, so we're just talking. This is going to be a new podcast where we invite friends, and we have Tom Villarreal. Apologize.
Yes.
First slip.
Well, I didn't really know the right way to pronounce my last name until I met the cooks at my work. So my last name is Spanish. It's Mexican. So I would say, hey, they're like, the first time we met, and they're like, what's your last name? And I told them I was Mexican. And they're like, what's your last name? And I was like, Villarreal. And they're like, no, what's your last name? And I'm like, Villarreal, motherfucker. Like, I've been saying this for 28 years. He goes, but it's Mexican, right? And it's like, yeah. He's like, it's Villarreal. Like, so I was like, so forever, I'm the same way, man. It's like, I could go up to so many people and say that, and they're like, you have a Spanish last name, say it right. But I say Villarreal. Like, it tripped me out, because like I said, 28 years, we're going to go into it, but my dad has never been around. So when it comes down to, like, learning Spanish, and if I, from Florida, like, Florida perspective, I would never need to know a lick of Spanish, just because it was never, like, introduced. A lot of my friends, you know what I mean? Then coming to California, moving here 6 years ago, it's like everybody and their mom speaks Spanish. And if I could be bilingual, knowing that I'm quarter Mexican, it would be the world, dude. I would, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'd run laps around people, so it's just, yeah, shout out to my dad. No, I'm just kidding.
Hell yeah, respect. Well, yeah, before we start asking questions, I just give you a little intro. This is the first podcast, so we have, like, zero structure.
Yeah.
We're gonna get better as we keep going, but
I'm down with that, because we're all rough around the edges on that.
Yeah, so you're from Florida. Tom Villarreal, like you said, he's 28 and been in the scene a long time. He was on the very last Road Fools 18. Mm-hmm. Then you were in the next Props feature, Owned, which we have right here.
Yes. Shout out to Chris Rye and Stu Johnson. Honestly, like, you're from, like, the older generation with BMX as far as Road Fools, and it blew my mind when I had the opportunity, first off, to go on it. It was Madeira and Premium. They did the Road Fools, mm-hmm. and it was
split thing.
Best like trip I've ever been on. And then from that trip, I guess Chris Rye was super psyched on my riding, and Stu Johnson, like, he was my filmer on that trip, so he, like, must have talked to Chris about it, and mm-hmm. from then led their first actual video with not doing certain segments at, like, contests, like where they go to Toronto Metro Jams, you know what I mean? There's always, like, different segments on each props.
Right.
Owned was the first video they did with rider sections. Mm-hmm. And the fact, like, I must have been 20 or 21 at the time, and for them to approach me like that after already, like, I've watched every props growing up, so for them to come to me and was just like, yeah, dude,
right,
you killed it on Road Fools. We're thinking about doing a section for a full video, full length, 6 rider sections. Do you want to be involved? I'm like, 100%.
And there's some pretty badass fools in here. Well, Jason Phelan, Alex Magellan, Dan Foley, Drew Bezanson. So a couple other guys that were coming up. But Drew Bezanson, he's
unreal.
He's up there.
Yeah, he's up there. Alex Magellan, dude, always looked up to his riding style. Like, that dude's just a beast. I don't know where he is, but yeah, like, you're a killer, dude, 100%.
Again, to go back into some background on Tom, I just moved to California last year. He was one of my immediate best friends. I've known him since old Florida trips back in the day.
Days,
but,
right? Yeah.
So yeah, I met you way back when in Florida. When did you come to California?
It was a weird situation. I dealt with a longevity relationship of 6 years on and off, and the last time we broke up, I was just like, this is completely pointless.
Tom is a relationship guy.
I am, dude. I can't help it, man.
Tom is always smiling. Like you said, he works at Gallagher's local pub, Irish pub.
Mm-hmm.
He's your friendly bartender.
Maloof. I mean, we were friends before then, but he comes in and there's slide him some shots, dude.
Absolutely.
Some Siegs.
When I first moved here, I didn't have I was looking for an apartment, and my girlfriend was still in Arizona, so it was kind of on my own. And Gully's was a spot. Come into Gulliger's. Tom
Speaking of which, today is
familiar face. He's hooking it up. I just felt right at home.
Yeah, but I don't know. We get carried away on the topic of this, but dedicating most of my life into riding, it's hard to put more time into school. I graduated with Magna programs, honors. I did really good in high school. Parents paid for college, first year, got put on Madeira. And back in the days, 2007, 2008, being a professional BMX rider is like, I don't know. To me, it's like, I gotta go for this. So I quit school. Parents were pissed, 100%, dude. They paid, and I get it. And now to this day, technically I graduated in 2007. It's 2018. It's almost 11 years of me being out of fucking school, and I haven't gone back to college. If I could have at least got a degree, granted, people argue the fact that degrees don't mean anything. Depends on which direction you want to go, right? Yeah, but regardless, that's the route I chose. BMX was it. Coming out of the professional career of BMX, I don't have much experience in anything else. So serving and bartending was me. You know what I mean? It was a thing. I like to socialize. I like to meet people. I like to interact.
Suits you well.
And most people, if you were like, hey, I'm going to get a 1-800 bartending license, most jobs are going to laugh at you. So I worked my way up from bar backing to this. Gallagher's was an only girls place. Only girls served there, at least.
Interesting.
And, yeah, true story. The owners only fucked with girls. So I'd bar back and bus. Because if you're a bar back at Gallagher's, you help bus. So you pick up the tabs, you wipe the tables down, you know what I mean? And then a few times I'd pick that book up and I'd see a $45 tip, $70 tip, depending on, you know what I mean? I'm like, dude, what am I doing? So in my head, I used to serve at Bob Evans when I was 18. Bob Evans is a senior 55 and older place. I'd get $2.50 for a tip. I'd be happy. I'd walk home with $37. That was my life. That was cool. Tips were tips. I was young, I accepted that. But when I seen a $45 to $65 tip on one tab, kind of opened up my mind. I'm like, then I started talking to the owners and I was like, what can I do to serve? I get it, you work with girls, but I mean, come on. Finally, a girl quit. They're like, we need some shifts covered. Can you serve? Started serving. They love me. Never, knock on wood, never had a complaint from service industry. No people complained about me. It became like a natural thing. I started taking tables at 6 to 8, not writing anything down, just remembering it. And I'm like, maybe I have like a niche with this. You know what I mean? Maybe this is something that can be good for right now, for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went from that to just making good money. And granted, I've worked 5 to 6 days a week and still do work 5 to 6 days a week, and I've worked that for the last 5 years. It's the first job I've actually worked longer than a year, because most jobs are weak and whack and trying to travel and they don't accept the traveling, you know what I mean? There's always something. But serving in California, you're making minimum wage, which is now $10 an hour plus tips, and I'm walking with $150 to $250 a night. It's that's more money than I've ever made. You know what I mean? And so that was the motive and the progression, you know, to make more money. So even exclude those 3 years that I served, now I'm bartending. And, bartenders, you work your way up. Started bar backing, serving, bartending. I know the ins and outs, so it's gratifying almost to work a job longer than a year. Not only a year, but 5 years, And that's another thing. If we can go back to BMX, it's I set today, 2018, start of the new year, I'm not a professional for Madeira anymore. I'm, what do you want to call it? What do you call that? Not grandfathered in, legend status, where they call it. Team. Legend team. But I told Hinkins when he came in a few months ago, I was like, look, dude, nothing but respect. I know I haven't been going on as many trips because I work full time. I have bills to pay. I have a $500 car payment. Like, if I get hurt, like, it's not your fault. I've known that since day one, but I don't want to risk that. So it's more like I step those trips to the side. Like, you know, you go to Minnesota, you go to Atlanta, you go to, like, whatever trips you decide to go on. I've hit them. I've been doing that since fucking forever. You know what I mean? Like, I want to still do it because I love it, but I also have to pay my bills. So I don't want to risk getting hurt to get a couple clips. Like, you know what I mean?
Take off work.
It is what it is at this point.
Off.
You get broke off. Yeah, dude. Like, so now it's dedicating my time into working, and as much as I love,
you still rip a good amount. I mean,
I try. Yeah,
the Instagram clips. I mean, anybody who's listening and doesn't know anything about Tom, he's the manual guy right now.
No. Courage Islands there's a few dudes that shine, but
not saying you're the dude, but you're a manual guy.
I am a manual guy.
At the moment.
Like,
loving the manuals.
What is that? If I'm gonna be legend on my team in Madeira, I'm gonna stick to muscle memory and knowing the comfortability. So it's more of a
dude who doesn't love a good manual challenge?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna really get hurt. You know?
No, it's chill. It's fucking the best.
My back foot's already 2 inches off the ground. If I overload it, it's right there.
Fucking eye it up. Try it for a few hours. So good when you get it.
Mm-hmm.
Manual links. Tom's got some impressive ones on his Instagram, so follow him, check that out.
I like to send myself every once in a while, but like I said, I have to work, dude. I think the owner of Gallagher's, well, he followed me since day one when I got hired there, and has always been kind of blown away that, knock on wood, dude, I've just been healthy. I come into work, I pick up shifts. He knows the shit that I do with riding, and I'm just there every day at work. It's like, how do you not get hurt? I'm like, dude, I've been doing this for almost 11 years professionally since I was 17,
right?
28, you know what I mean?
Playing it safe.
I know, like, I can walk away now.
In a good way.
No, absolutely. Like,
I'm still battles.
I'm learning to walk away from the battles and not be bummed. You know, like before it's like I couldn't walk away. Now it's like, you're walking away.
So, me and Tom are on Team Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Team Scott is we go and take shots in the morning at this local juice bar, Salute. We got a bottle there. They hook us up, so we did a little plug for them here. So there's a select crew of Long Beach BMX residents, and we all go into Salute and we take shots in the morning of healthy juices.
Yeah, we make a joke out of it because I work at a bar. I serve what some people would say the good shots. We consider the bad shots because nowadays we're taking the good shots. Bad shots, don't get me wrong, love Jameson, love Siegs, love fucking
booze.
Don Julio, you know what I mean? Like, love booze.
Just booze in general.
We're still adapting to the future, and we know what our body's like, and as much as we do enjoy having a good night, even if you have a good night, treat yourself, man. Like, you could pay.
Tom loves it.
I love yeah.
Tom's a true believer in the treat thyself.
Treat thyself, actually, yeah. I gotta get that tattooed one day.
I loved it. Right when I moved here, Tom would be like, "Yeah, treat thyself. Go
just
do
man.
anything, man.
You know,
going on like a 6-hour trip somewhere, or
mm-hmm.
going somewhere with his lady." But anyway, so Tom stopped by Salute and got shots for pretty much everybody here. You guys can't see the crew, but we got guys.
We're laced up. I just wanted to stop by because not only do I feel the burn, and I really do love every bit of these shots, but people who haven't done it, Yumi's in town, right?
Just gonna move that.
Yeah, there we go.
My OCD right there.
Yeah, Yumi's in town, right? And he's never, like, I mean, maybe he's taken some kind of substance that is affiliated towards this, but Began, you were telling me that this dude's never done one, at least of this type. So when you bring and you introduce people to like the goodness, it hurts going down, but I think all in all, like it's just it's a reviving thing, dude. You realize that you're neglecting, your body is not used to it, so you're keeping yourself away from appreciating that like stuff like this exists. And as much as I do like the good shots, these things will forever. Like, I'm stuck on it. Me and, you know what I mean? Like me, you, Reed.
Oh, yeah.
Wes. You know, I'm gonna try to bring everybody in. Forrest, he has to work super early, but if you know what I mean? Like, they're not cheap. Don't get me wrong. Like, it is an expensive thing. But let's be real now. Like, how quick is it? I'm gonna speak for myself to go buy myself a margarita. If I go buy myself a margarita, that's $9 plus tip.
Oh yeah,
that's 11.
Ridiculous upcharge.
And if you keep the tab running, dude, like, let's be real now. To have a good night out with the lady, you're spending just on drinks alone $70-$80. You know what I mean? On a good night. So why can't you wake up in the morning and treat thyself to
drop a fat 80?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like this might seem like a lot, but these are cheaper than actual shots, and this is gonna treat your body right. So
totally.
Everything in moderation, what people say. So in the middle is.
Well, I won't grab yours because I also went to some.
He did.
Sorry, I didn't flex quite as hard as Tom, but I was just gonna have one for us. But we had the whole gang. Actually, well, let's do it right. You want to mix them?
Yeah, we should mix them. Yeah.
Just to explain what these are, this one is pretty much just ginger, pressed ginger root. And it has cayenne pepper. There's another one. I don't even know which one I grabbed, but
you know, like,
they put like honey in there to make it a little bit sweeter. But I don't think this one has it.
I did look it up because I figured maybe some way somehow we'd be talking about this, and it's like, dude's spending a lot of money on juice, but he doesn't really know what he's talking about. So this guy right here.
You didn't want to be that guy. Hold on, let me guess real quick.
Yeah.
That's got beet juice, oregano oil.
True. Yeah. I have it actually right here though, so let's see. No, keep going. Let's test them.
Well, you're on the ginger one.
No, this is
the beet one, oregano oil, and oregano. Oh wait, fuck. Son of a bitch. That's all I know. But it's got maybe another ingredient.
Two ingredients out of the 5, which is really close.
Out of the 5.
Cayenne, which
Again?
is also
this?
dude. Yep. And
in this one.
Turmeric and lime.
Turmeric,
yes.
Okay.
Turmeric, dude, you know, you spend the money for the goodness.
Tomato, dude.
Tomato.
People are gonna fucking hate regardless.
But yeah, so that alone is, you know, my lady, God bless her, she's amazing, but she has a weak immune system and she gets sick quite often. I mean, coughing, sneezing, breathing, just the whole 9, and I don't know, like I fucking very habitual with this, and I try to take this most mornings. I do slack, but I do feel like, you know, I can knock on wood and say I don't get sick.
Here we go, little 1235 shot glasses coming at you.
Ooh, yeah, you guys are going in too. I see you over there. Treat thyself.
You guys can come in here.
Yeah, come cheers, man.
You guys want to sit in here for a second? Take these.
The Scots?
No, casket.
No, hold on.
Scots.
Let's be real. Let's see the expression. Is what I love. So these dudes have taken them before.
You guys have
had it once before.
A good angle on yourselves. Hold on, let's check the time here. Did any of those stop?
I just stopped mine.
Yeah, that one hasn't stopped yet.
Yours stopped?
Yeah, I did it twice.
Vegan is on it. Yes, sir.
That was good.
Was that a start-stop?
Yeah.
Good. All right.
Scots?
Right, Scots.
Scots. Team Scott. See, now we have a reason. Now we have a good reason to, Whoa.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's
We'll
intense.
get that.
Yeah.
Can I hit that salute water real quick?
Gotta hit the chaser.
That's cold one, dude.
We got the cold
That's
one.
that high quality H2O.
We gotta get
Got a
the
nice
big
little
bottle.
kick to it.
And, we'll have them. We'll make it a thing whenever we interview anybody.
I was gonna cop one, but I don't know. I just felt that the little ones might have worked because I wanted to.
These things are too
Distribute?
gangster. They're just
Yeah.
also kind of like potions.
The bottles are sick
Oh
too.
yeah, little vial bottles.
I got a gang of these. But yeah, so that's our tradition lately. We just been taking shots in the morning, healthy shots. It gets you juiced.
It really
It's funny,
straight
but,
up
Gets
juice.
that more
you know,
going.
I didn't want to directly bite, but you know, these get you pretty fucking juiced up.
Yeah.
Pun intended. And it'll get you kind of talking. You'll be a little bit fresh and sparked up. And I was listening to a podcast with Action Bronson, actually in the No Jumper. And he's like, "Oh, we take ginger shots before we go into the studio."
Yeah, dude.
And I was like, "Hell
Hell
yeah!"
You know what
Because
I mean?
you really do go to Salute in the morning. We all take shots, and like by the time we're back on the street pedaling, like it's like fucking.
I feel alive.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's a different feeling, man. I
Might have to switch up my coffee mornings.
Mhm.
Get some
Dude,
shots.
I
yeah,
love
I mean,
the coffees
you're going
too,
in
but-
and spending $6-7 on the coffee.
I mean, I only spend $2.90. I get an iced coffee.
Oh,
so
beg my
it's-
pardon.
Yeah.
I don't drink coffee. I
I'm a
have no
young
idea.
latte kind of guy, so I'm about $5 with
There
the
he
banana,
is.
$6.
That's,
Yeah.
that's what I imagine it was.
It's that bartender life. Making those tips. Those fat
dude,
tips.
you always try to
Yeah,
remember
second
that to
Tommy,
people, man.
Two Scots?
Yeah, let's fucking juice them.
Yeah, let's keep going. I'm down
The
for
ones
one
they
more.
give you at Salute are fucking tall boys.
Yeah, I know.
They're like double
The
shots.
excited
I think-
well, homegirl go.
Well, you guys split them up into two. You guys are doing like halves, it looked like.
Yeah,
They
you
just
guys-
went all
Me
in.
and Forrest just did like two each, yeah.
So what he's saying is he doesn't want another one.
Oh,
Clearly
you
he's
guys
good.
Weird.
That,
It
that
is
was a pretty
intense.
Big, that was a rip.
What I like is always bringing someone new in who hasn't done shots, but they see how much we enjoy it, so they're like, I gotta like it.
Dude, I brought my girlfriend the other day, and
And
she
the
literally,
facial
like, she
reactions
thought she
are-
was gonna fucking die
Yeah,
after.
dude.
I was like, yeah, it's different, but it's
So
cool.
funny.
I actually
Well,
feel
you
like
get,
it's
you
gonna
get
help
the
too.
what is it? The Indian summer? Is that what it is? Is that
I get the Eastern Sunset juice.
Indian summer? That
There
might
is
be
a-
one
there's an
too.
Indian summer.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. I thought I might have just been going off on that one.
Dude, they're gonna be hyped. We're just talking about juice.
Yeah, fuck it.
But that is a sweeter style of it. So like when people go in and they're like, oh, we're gonna get a juice, this must be, I don't know, I'm not gonna say banana, but like maybe some pineapple juice and whatever. Like it looks like as if it would be a little bit sweeter.
Mhm.
The thing with this is it is actually
It's got a kick
spicy
to it.
and it really
Yeah.
does have a gnarly kick to it. But that's why I feel like a perk.
It just,
like a,
yeah, it gives you like a
yeah,
thing.
just
It
really
like, wakes
get,
you up.
Get excited
I don't know.
about it.
Like, I
It's
just
way
feel
different.
rejuvenated.
It's way different drinking, like cold pressed juice as opposed to fucking,
Straight out of it.
super sugary fucking
Concentrated.
concentrated shit.
What are
Pure
those?
sugar.
So it's different because some people taste it and they're like, "What's that? That's not that fucking good," and because it's not
It's a
super
Minute
sweet,
Maid brand.
right? And then other people will take a sip immediately and they're like, "Holy shit!" Like you can really taste like that's fucking juice from plants. Like
Yeah.
they're fucking absorb water.
Mhm.
They can be juice and it's cold pressed, so it's never heated up. It's literally just a pressure process.
And I think
Salute's
you
organic. I mean, not to be a picky snob, but all that stuff does play into what you're tasting,
Yeah.
the natural flavors, and what it's going to do for your body in a juice that's going to get in you fast.
Yeah, and I think you were one of the people to enlighten me with that because there was True Nature, which I love to death, but they came around at least first. They're closer towards Cherry Park.
I know what you
You know,
mean.
their juices are fire. You know, when you're still new to the game as far as juicing goes, they do have a juicer. They do have good juices. Might be slightly cheaper, whether it's $1 or $2 for their juices, but their vegetables and their fruits sit out. You know what I mean? Like they lose their nutrients because of that. And with Salud, it's like everything is fresh, and as soon as it's pressed, it's put right in the refrigerator. So everything is just
Bottle type.
like the nutrients on that. You might be spending $2 more, but technically you're getting $10 worth as far as nutrients go. So it's like get your bang for your buck. You know what I mean? And that's why it's called Team Scots, short for shots. But we always got
Slang
short
for
short
shots.
There's
or
Scots.
not short for shots, but
Slang for
slang.
shots.
You know what I mean? Like and
Slang
then
is
Scottie
fun.
Pippen, Scott Wirch,
Scotty Wirch. Someone just sent me a screenshot of Scott Wirch's Instagram today in the group chat, and I was like, "What? I gotta follow Scott Wirch." 'Cause
Yeah.
we've been saying that forever. Like,
That's funny.
whenever anybody would be like, "Oh, word," and we just started like, "Oh,
Wirch.
Scott
Scott Wirch."
Wirch. Yeah, dude. It just flows and it goes. You can't really.
Dude,
You don't understand it, but you do.
yeah. Well, you have to understand who Scott Wirch is to give a fuck, but half of these kids don't know who the hell that is.
If we do that, we'd be fucking spending $7 on a shot to call it a Scott Wirch.
Let's
You'd be
fucking
pumped.
cheers to Scott Wirch.
Ah,
Damn, that'd be a good time to add in who is Scott Wirch
Oh
on the
man,
board.
maybe I put in right here Scott Wirch's fucking character in
Ooh.
Dave Mirra
Show-
2
yeah,
digital,
show the viewers.
digitally hanging out.
Yeah, show the viewers that don't know, just Pop him up there.
Hell yeah,
Give him a
follow
little
Scott
history
Wurtz
lesson.
too.
I will.
He's on
I
Instagram.
know Maloof wanted to be more on the real side with this, which I feel like I am. Did you ever pick Scott Wurtz on that?
No.
No.
Hell nah.
No. See,
I
like,
did, but honestly, like,
Was it out of pity?
no, not a
no hate. Swear to God,
No,
just like you were
no.
a little newer to the game as far as like.
We would just
the
pick Scott Wurtz
mainstream-
because it was
yeah.
funny as hell.
Yeah.
We thought- not because he was like a joke. It's
Yeah,
just
no,
like,
no.
Because of the
I
slang.
didn't
We were
mean it
like
like that.
Scott Wurtz. Like I'd fucking send JE something and be like, "Yeah, I would just play Dave Mirra, Scott Wurtz."
Yeah, and then
Scotty
when,
Wurtz.
when you start like passing levels on them, dude, it's like, wait, dude, it's not all about, you always read the, what is it, the traction and whatever other kind of shit levels that they have for certain.
Oh right,
riders.
height, speed,
Height, speed,
funny
you know what
hop,
I mean?
whatever.
It's like, that's putting people down if you can't, like, who are you to judge me, you know what I mean? Like, you can't.
But was Scott Wurtz's shit hella weak? Because that would suck.
Well, it'd be hard to it was really hard to manual on that game, so your boy just,
Put you in?
yeah, put me in, man.
How cool would
That's
it be?
all I would have, though. I would only have that, like, 5-star rating at that. Everything else is 1, 2.
Well, there's a topic right there, though, like a BMX game. Like, how sick would it be? I mean, it'd be fucking tough. They'd have to maybe get, like, 9 dudes to wear the suits and wear the light bulbs again or whatever.
But why can't they,
Probably different
like,
now.
up-to-date shit now? You know when, like, Skate 1, 2, and 3 came out?
That's it. Does skate still have people have to do that shit? I don't think so. Do they?
But,
I'm sure
but
they gotta
remember,
do something because
the-
they mimic their
Yeah,
fucking
sure.
movements
but
and shit.
it was hard. Like, it was, like, I'm not a game nerd. I'm gonna say it. Like, you gotta be a nerd to understand certain games. I was never that guy, but Skate was so fun. And you realize with the joystick how it is with their feet. They used to
Yeah,
skate, so
right.
you can justify with that. I always thought how cool would that be with BMX. Like Tony Hawk, Dave Merritt, you press triangle, you grind. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
pretty basic, but Skate, like, changed it, and that's what made it so exhilarating. Like,
There's no grind.
not
button.
just the normal Joe Schmo can get on a GameCube or whatever games it was and play Skate because it was so complicated. Like, it didn't make sense. You'd fall over, you couldn't ollie. Like, we should do that for a game.
But it's also-
we got someone like Vegan who rides 4 pegs and he can just do crisscross applesauce, everything on it. Like, it's fire, dude, and I'll never understand that. But you know what I mean? Like, certain riders, it would just be exciting. You
Oh,
know what I
it'd be
mean?
awesome.
It'd be super fun.
Yeah, anybody that rides could definitely agree. It's tough because, like, you make the argument that so many people buy skate, like, they don't skate. Like you said, Joe Schmo probably sucks at it, but all these gamers have it.
Yeah.
Or there's a dude out there that's never skated in his life, he's fucking bomb at it.
Mm-hmm.
But then, I think it'd be exactly the same. How many people had Matt Hoffman and Dave Mirra 2? Dave was the dude. I mean, like, kids our age, kids, we're guys. 20-year-old men like us. Fucking, he was the fucking, at the peak. He was peaking
Mm-hmm.
right when I fell in love with BMX. So, I mean, like, he was probably the first dude that I emulated,
Mm-hmm.
even though, one into later dudes, more underground swaggy cats, but I definitely remember really wanting white Fox knee pads and shit like that, and he was on TV, so it was like, hard to say, but he's like our Bam Margera. He was our fucking poster child. He was like the biggest dude we had.
And to not, you brought up Bam, like, maybe
I was hella
just
influenced by Bam.
yeah,
so.
fire. But maybe you can see Bam pulling some shit like this now,
Speaking.
which is like ruthless to say and no disrespect, but I do feel like even that dude who is a legend and everyone will forever respect, he's gone through some hardships, So seeing maybe if he was to ever pull something like that would be understanding somewhat. No, not even to be a dick, but that
You wouldn't
sounds
be
really
surprised
ruthless.
because he was a rock star and he was a drinker.
Yeah, dude, and he still
fucking-
goes hard and he still does that. So when you see someone like Dave, who is the complete opposite of him, he doesn't portray himself as that, super healthy lifestyle.
I'm gonna eat your Fritos.
Pete's high ass goes and gets fucking Fritos. If you're gonna get up and you should roll a blunt and come back.
Stop the cameras for you.
Speaking of, man, he's like, I already smoked one. I gotta get this treat in, and then I'll go in on the next one.
Fuck you, now I want Fritos. Actually, there's one.
Want me to grab the back?
Fucking pubes in here.
I love you guys. Speaking of smoking, dude, lifted life. I fucking lived that life for so long that I have nothing but like appreciation towards the dudes that still kill it hard. I can't. I get like an anxiety, and it trips me out every time I smoke. I can't appreciate it. It's more of a battle of unappreciating it and like why I can't come. You know what I mean? It's weird because I used to be the guy that I'd have blunt rolls at every session, dude. Every trip we went on, I'd be that guy. Went to New Jersey, met up with Jeff Kosis. Shout out to Jeff Kosis, I fucking love you. He was like, yo, dude, New Jersey cats don't get, like, we only pay top shelf, top price for OG or Diesel, what they would get up there, you know what I mean? So he'd be like, you got that fucking Christmas bud mid-grade shit, like shit that doesn't have seeds, but it's not OG, it's not Dro. I'd bring fucking half a pound up to go see him, and we'd sell blunts for $20. Granted, I would sell 7 grams back home in Florida, the same bud, for $25-$30. So the fact that I'm selling a gram, rolling it up for people, and he'd go and sell $20 blunts to them, the profit, like, I think that trip we smoked over a QP, and I still made like $1,000. It was just unreal. But you know what I mean? It's like, I love, and you guys are bringing up blunts, like, I don't know what happened, people's minds changed, that whatever.
Oh, so you just really can't smoke anymore, you don't enjoy it at all?
When I'm on, like, super buzz, drinking.
Molly.
Like, just the whole...
I'm kidding.
No, that too, like that, maybe that developed, no, hold on, let me
put you on
no,
blast,
that's tight though, I appreciate that, because Molly and smoking and mushrooms and acid, that was like a stage in life where I could handle it, just give it all to me, and can't do any of it anymore. Like, I literally cannot, like, I can't even drink a cup of coffee, like the right, like, portfolio coffee beans, like certain things, like I love coffee, just like I love smoking weed if I could, or do a Molly like I used to, or all that shit. Acid, I used to ride on acid, dude. It was unbelievable. I'm so in my head now. Like, even drinking a cup of coffee.
Did you film like one of your edits, like mostly on acid or something?
Yeah, dude. If you guys have ever seen it, still to this day, Justin Butts did the editing. He was on Adderall, and that was my first time on acid, and I had a bad trip. I was in Venice. I called him. He scooped me up, and we were living in downtown LA at the time.
Oh, in that house.
And he was the only one that the people that I was with, this is my first year moving to California. I wasn't familiar with anybody. So I kind of just went on a whim. Like, dude was supposed to give me 1 drop, ended up hitting me with like 2 or 3. I just felt
boom.
And on my first time, I was already doing Molly and I've done mushrooms, but I don't know if you guys are like me, the word acid tripped me out. So I've always branched away from that.
This is your first time, is that what you said?
Yeah, but like in Florida, it was always ecstasy, pills, Molly.
Florida.
And tons of weed, yeah. But I can say, though, none of us ever fucked with acid. So then I moved to California, and certain people are already on that trippy level. So go to this house in Venice, Cinco de Mayo. Everyone talks about it. 2 of my friends do it. I'm like, fuck it. Boom. Dude, doesn't just hit me with 1. I felt 3 drops, and it got intense real quick. The only person I trusted was my buddy Justin, who's from Florida. Mm-hmm. Great videographer, filmer.
Right.
I called him, and him and his lady came to scoop me up, and we talked, and I finally felt sane. Like, I lost it, dude. Like, there's a dude DJing, black dude, but he looked like the dude from the Rob Zombie movie, The Clerk, the store clerk. And fucking dudes were drunk, just like throwing beers, but I thought it was I thought negative thoughts, so I was like, I just need to get out of here. So I got out of there. Me and Butts ended up having a good talk, and then it was 7 a.m, and he goes, yo, why don't we film some shit? Back in, 6 years ago, G-turns, they were fairly new to certain people. I've never been able to do them. Dude, I was just fucking popping G-turns like a champ, dude. There was no white noise. There was nothing other than knowing what your capability of doing what you've always done on a BMX bike and out, dude. So then that led into, let's go film some clips. And then some of the clips in this Madeira Spring 2012 edit, which was like my first edit I put out when I was out in California. I'm hitting these like over bar height hurdle hops. There was like 4 of them. It's like boom, land, boom, just hitting it, dude. And then the last one was a wall ride. I've never done like a over bar height, like opposite toothpick chink, or no, regular toothpick chink, but like you're hopping opposite. So it's like doing certain things on lines, dude. I did like 4 solid clips on that edit. One of them, which was like I spin this broom around. After I get done doing the hop, it says on acid, like very small little letters, dude. But Butts had to put that in there because it was just a moment that I appreciated that drug. And recreational, it's fun. But if you do it while you're doing something that you love and you're good at, it just takes you on to other levels. So, but that was a part of my life, and now it's...
You had a frame, too, from Deco that was called Lifted, too, right? Or was it, yeah?
Mm-hmm. That was the same time.
The same graphic on your arm, right?
Same graphic, yeah. My buddy Jace Rizzo, shout out to him.
Nice.
We just smoked mad blunts, and it's like we couldn't think of a good... Like Chad hit me with the approach, like, yo, I want to do a signature frame, like...
And you were still smoking, you were Blunt Tom back then.
Hard. Like I said, I was the dude to bring the weed to the session, you know, like, I have it, you have it, let's smoke it. Matt Copeland dealt with it for years, dude. Sober Sally, I love you, Matt, but...
Sober Cope.
Yeah, dude. Healthier than all of us, so, like, shout out to you for doing it right.
For sure. So would you say, though, so Blunt Tom is capable of doing the drugs, wilding, and because now that you can't smoke a blunt,
you know,
it's like all that stuff is basically ex-nay.
Yeah, it's I've probably told you guys this a few times. Still to this day, like if you ever catch me sometimes, if I'm getting the slightest anxiety, I'll do this, you know. But because of
the neck chafe,
dude, it's a weird situation, and people develop their anxieties for what they do. But I had because I used to smoke so much weed, wax was there, you know, like you take the flame torch, you light up the needle, you know what I mean? Like, it sounds crazy, but wax was so new at this age. Dude came over with some, what do you want to call it? It was like extracted with CO2 instead of butane, so the formula was a lot stronger, and I'm on mushrooms at this point. End up taking the biggest dab or biggest hit of this stuff, and when I blew out, while I was also peaking on mushrooms, my throat seized up, it felt like. It really wasn't, but you can imagine being on mushrooms and blowing out, which I'm sure a lot of you kids have smoked tons of wax in your life. This is amber glass. That's what it's called, amber glass. And it's extracted with CO2. And the potent formula of that is like 2 or 3 times as strong. And I'm taking a fat hit of this. So my mind just went on a fucking, like I could for hours, dude. I felt like I was going crazy. Felt like metal daggers were just
one hit of wax.
Just one hit of wax. So like it tripped me out. So because of that, when I smoke weed or when I did Molly recently just because I haven't done it in like 5 years. That was fine, but it's mainly the marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
I can hit a couple hits when I'm buzzed because you lose your conscience. You're chilling.
You're fucking lit.
You're lit. You know what I mean? Like, you appreciate it. But when I'm sober, if you guys were to pass me the blunt now, I'd just fucking... I'd be like, what's that dude's name with fucking shaves like this? Fucking Adam 22 did a podcast with him. Dude, I watched, he smoked a blunt. Dude, you know what I'm talking about. I can't think of his name. Long hair, white rapper. Come on, man.
I know what you're talking about. Riff Raff.
Riff Raff.
Raff.
Do you remember seeing that when Adam did the interview with him?
Oh, yeah.
He smoked that blunt, and it was awkward, dude. He got super high.
Got super blazed.
Yeah, so like me
they had to
hitting the momentum with these shots are probably the best for you guys. For me to come out is
we're moving now.
Yeah,
I wonder if anybody noticed the shift.
The shift, yeah. So
like, your fucking interview is kicking now.
So give me a blunt, dude. You're gonna be like, that's the dumbest dude on planet Earth. I'm
exact opposite.
Yeah, and it's not even that I'm dumb. It's just I'm battling demons, dude. That's what it's gonna come down to. So I choose my battles. I'm like, it ain't worth it. I tried to for a while, for like a year straight after that bad trip. I was like, I'm lifted, dude. I smoke.
Yeah.
And I couldn't come back to reality.
Well, it's real. I've like, had similar experiences with substances that will maybe get brought up in other episodes.
Yes.
But
Bring them, dude. Let them be known.
people just, it's the panic. You know what I mean? Like when you get fucked up, something changes in your mind, and then you panic. Panic takes over.
Mm-hmm.
Panic starts making you feel like shit. Panic fucking freaks you out.
Are you like me? Because I don't like to not be in control. So like, like I don't know if I'm gonna speak this out loud. And Delcor, you were a champion because I watched you do a good amount of mushrooms, and you were the happiest guy. It seems to not affect you. Anytime I've ever used to do it, I think I've always battled it. Like I've fought it rather than just letting go.
Oh, mushrooms?
Just mushrooms, just, acid too. Like, I think that's why I had the bad trip on acid, even though I've done it numerous times after. I battle it more than just appreciating, like, knowing why I took it. So then that's another reason why I'm like, if I'm going to fight it, why do it? Certain people can just let go and appreciate it. And so I think, like you're saying, having that bad trip it might be just, like, hard to...
Oh yeah, I've had them, but I,
Still indulge?
No, I've actually turned over like you.
Mm-hmm.
Had my fair share of psychedelics and things.
Any bad trips, or is it just...
certainly, acid and mushrums.
But like recent ones, and that's kind of what...
I've panicked with like ecstasy and things like that too. You just do, but it's because you just think you're gonna die. It's fucking...
You
or you think you've gone crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the biggest thing you gotta realize is that...
I almost wanted to let go. I was like, take me, because I can't battle this anymore.
Yeah, but the thing to focus on is that you think you're going crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The same way you can think you might get in a car accident, but those are fucking, what do they call it? They're fucking...
Post-traumatic disorders.
Anxieties are fictitious, you know what I mean? Like, they're not real. So you just, like, work something up, your body fucking temperature changes, like, you can catch a fever, dude. Like, so that's what I mean. It's like, you're on drugs, and you're questioning what's making you feel that way, but, you obviously just triggered something in your brain that you're making you feel that way. So, I've, like, done it and overcome it, and, I mean, that's why I am now at a better place.
Yeah.
In my own mind, and I mean, I choose now. I don't need to do that shit. But
well, that's how I feel. Like I know reality is reality. Like you know what's good for you. You know what's not, and you kind of accept it and move on. And like the fact would trip me out for a while. My anxiety got so bad because of it. Even though it's like you said, I'm a positive guy. Like most people wouldn't even know. But because I knew that it was something that I built up. It was a built-up anxiety that I did to myself. It's not real. I know that. But it's like you allowed yourself to see that vision that you didn't even exist before. But all of a sudden, because you had that trip, it's there. It's forever going to be a lingering moment. And
consciousness. The
consciousness, yeah. So it's the everyday for me to at least... I don't battle it because... I realize that the healthier I am, the more I ride, the more I'm in tune with myself. That's like in the back burner, dude. I don't even... Every once in a while it hits me, but nothing like it used to. And I think that's why, because I used to try to fight it when it's just like, just let it go. Don't fight it.
Well, yeah, and I mean, then you start to narrow out the things that can be fucking you up. Like, you go out and have a night of drinking, you wake up the next day and feel like shit.
Being hungover,
pretty
which
obvious,
alters your mind. Yeah, that's
pretty obvious what was going on there, and then there's, you go to fucking eat fast food, get fucking 4 fucking chalupas.
Yeah.
Might feel a little shitty after that, too. It's easy to pinpoint. But when you're on a slew of fucking cocktails and psychedelics and drugs and, people go through those phases, like both of us, it sounds.
Yeah,
but,
at a younger age,
it's hard to
it's
hard to pinpoint what's going on with your body because you're fucking chucking a lot at it.
Yeah.
And then you eventually just have to get older and chill out.
Another thing...
Or keep ripping. If you keep ripping,
well,
a lot of dudes keep ripping.
That's what I'm saying, like... I've always wished I could be a musician. I wish I could sing. I wish I could play, but
Can't help. We gotta like finish these because I'm just gonna keep taking them.
to being healthy. Whew.
Look at Nyquist and all those dudes.
To the good Scots.
Killing it. How old those
Well,
guys
you know,
are.
that's kind of what, bringing back to what I'm saying, like, musicians are super talented, but let's be real, they don't use their body, they use their mind, so altering it makes them more emphasized to whatever they're speaking of, you know what I mean? Like, the thing that has helped me, and I'm super thankful, and this is why I love BMX, because that kept me away from that, like that, I could have still been that guy to keep doing it, because it's like, it alters me in a better way, it makes me just understand my lyricism or something, you know what I mean? Like, but BMX is like, yo, you don't need that. You need your body more than, well, you need your mind too, but it's the combination of both that like kept me, to me, I feel like kept me sane. Kept me riding more, kept me healthier, realizing that partying and drinking and doing Molly and smoking a ton of weed, as fun as that was, to stick on that routine and that path is like, I'm gonna mess up on a fucking 2-stair handrail, you know, or like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's not worth it. I'm not trying to get broken bones because my mind's not there.
That's real. So we'll bust a little bit longer, but take it back to, I asked you about coming to California.
Mm-hmm.
You said you quit school, your parents were pissed. You were blunt, Tom.
Blunt Tom.
What made you come to California?
Dude, to be honest with you, it sounds cliche, but it was a breakup. Just sour relationship.
Back to relationship, Tom.
Yeah, dude, back to relationship Tom. And it was just like, what am I doing? Girl was young and beautiful and just had everything look-wise, but not anything that I was really looking for, and I knew that. So then when I finally like knew it was over, it was just like, I'm going to California. And I don't know, dude, it's because BMX was in my mind. Like, you go back to watching, what is it, the Austin, Texas...
Texas Toast?
Not the Texas Toast, but it was like a house check that Props put on. And you see people, Props did like a house check in Austin. You know how they do like certain segments? They did one in Austin, Texas, and it was like...
was it like Devin and...
yeah, and Chase Hogg and fucking Aaron Ross.
I lived in that house.
Yeah, and like...
Summer.
And let's be real now, at that time, those dudes already put out their Empire video, and like you're looking at like the Kobe Bryant and LeBron James... Or, you clearly don't watch much basketball, but LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, like, you know, dudes who are top-notch athletes who everyone looked up to, and yet they're sharing
They're sharing a house.
You know what I mean? And like, you know, you got to do what you got to do. BMX is BMX, and that's cool. Like, you appreciate that. But initially, when I'm watching stuff like that, and I'm just seeing the motivation. You see Dave Mary's. It's like, I want to go out to California. I want to make it shit work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and not that it's even a letdown anymore, because it's fun to me more than anything. Like, I appreciate it, but that was the initial like, let's move to California just to see.
Yeah.
And I just I filmed that video with Stu Johnson for Owned, and I'm like,
out
okay,
here?
No, not out here, but prior to that, which is also my party stage. But I felt like if I can accomplish that, and people like Chris Fry, who's done Road Fools and who's done props forever, even considered me as like a person to film their first video with 6 rider sections. I'm like, just maybe I have a chance, you know what I mean? Like, let's see what let's just see what happens. And I've met nothing but a one-way ticket. Only knew one person out here, and I've just climbed in the most natural, progressive way. And I'm not talking about with just BMX, but just meeting great people like you, which I've known a little bit prior, but like us both coming to California and doing our thing, you know what I mean? Like, you know, there's just so many great people that I'm so glad, even though I wish I would have somewhat stuck out school, the path that I've taken is, you can't be mad at yourself, dude. You really just, I'm thankful. That's the initial reason why I moved out to California. I knew there was the light in BMX that kind of just reeled me in. That was the path that I decided to take.
Once again, BMX is so funny that way. Like, thinking about, I was a kid that would watch a video like that and see a bunch of ratty dudes in a house. They had a pretty nice house, like I said. I stayed there. I helped them move into that house.
So, yeah. Which,
but like I would.
But you have been like done some shit that all of us wish we could. I mean, I'm not even trying to bring you into this as far as like boasting yourself up, but yeah, like you said, for the fact that you helped move that man, you just nothing but the utmost respect, dude. You're a true G.
I appreciate that, Tom.
Yes, sir. That's not even like camera aside, dude. You're a man.
Well, I hope you being the first guest on this show shows you how much I respect you. But yeah, no, what I was gonna say is it's just funny that I would have seen a video of a bunch of dudes shacked up, living like fucking animals, and been hyped. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be like, damn it, that's what I want. You know, like the same reason, like, I moved to Tulsa, for fuck's sake, for 2 years to just live like a rat and ride street. But, you know, all that stuff in between, couch surfing or having your own place, even though it's a shithole, cockroaches, you know, those are the things that put me right here, and that's riding, you know. So riding is like, it's cool that it shapes you as your, you know, whether you know, like I said, get spat out the other end or whatever. Like, we're still here. BMX is a great thing that makes. That's why we're fucking talking about it. That's why we're gonna talk about it.
It's unreal, you know. Like my lady. Sorry, I don't know why I'm looking at it, but my lady.
That's Beacon's pube that I almost ate earlier. Fucking
I'm just staring at it like.
some Brandon Beacon.
It's kind of
right there.
perfectly curled though. It's.
Oh, jeez.
It's like my brother's widow's peak or something. Like, I don't know.
His brother's got a widow's peak.
Yeah, dude, it kind of just grows, but I've been pretty blessed, dude.
Alberto in the Gully Factory, our buddy back in Chicago, he's got a mean one.
Yeah.
Always wore V-necks. So we just like, you know, you had to. It was very fucking
If he
symmetrical.
has that, then, you know, he's got some chest hairs, so you just sooner or later just combine them, dude.
I don't even know. It was funny because it worked. Plays. Shout out Berto.
Shout out Berto.
Just seen him. He's at Rolling Loud.
Shout out to my brother, because my brother is the originator. If you ever heard Miles or me or anyone that, you know, we say brush a lot.
Brooch.
Which is brooch. Brush is mine, Miles is brooch. But my brother, I just got so tired of saying bro. Like, you know, it's just like, yeah, you're my brother, but it's like, then it was like, I seen his hair one day, but yeah, like my dad's genetics got super curly hair. I was like, damn, brush. Like I said that before, this was way before I moved out here, so for whatever reason that kind of just started going.
So a stepsister, a brother,
Mm-hmm.
blood brother.
Blood brother,
And that's it?
stepsister, a few step brothers, one who lives out here, like in Redondo, but he, good people, but I met them, you know, like I said, my dad was MIA most of my life, you know, no calls for my birthday, no calls for Christmas, like, just dipped out, which is cool, you know what I mean, like, I think about me being in BMX is because my mom met my stepdad. My mom, being a champion, took 2 kids out of Chicago, or 2 boys, and went and took a job for American Express in Tampa, Florida. Solo mom taking 2 boys at 6 and 7. Goalie. You know what I mean? Like, and then she met my dad. Dad's fucking stepdad. I always say dad because real dad's MIA. Dad steps
Is
in.
your real dad alive?
He's alive, yeah. Hits me up on Facebook all the time. Sends me some weird shit. Man.
Oh, so now you guys are in touch
Facebook, yeah.
after all this time?
Been to a couple Texas Toasts. A lot of those, him and his sister and the stepbrothers
Went
that
to
one lives
Toast.
out here went to Toast.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went and like grabbed some like pizza from them with them. That was a wild experience. Super cool. Like no hard feelings. I'm not that kind of like fuck you, dad, you weren't around. Like it's like mom told me some stories, you guys went through some shit, no hard feelings. Like I'm not mad. But my stepdad just pulled up, super long mullet, fucking tied back, driving a Harley. My mom was like, oh, what's up, dude? He would be a badass in the sand because we moved to Florida, so we had nothing but beautiful beaches. He'd sit there and like carve alligators out of sand, you know what I mean? Like sharks, and like just hung out with us. And I was like, he would like reminisce on this. He's like, I used to throw sand in his face, like you know what I mean? I was just a piece of shit. But yeah, I would always remember him pulling off on his Harley. Sportster just doing wheelies like a savage. He's the one that got us into riding bikes. You know what I mean? So I always say things happen for a reason. As much as I'd like to be bilingual and learn Spanish, that dad was hitting the left corner real hard, and I wouldn't be riding or, you know, meeting you guys most likely through riding bikes if it wasn't for my mom taking us out of Chicago back to Tampa and meeting my stepdad. You know, like that's what I'm saying. Life works mysteriously, and
Oh yeah. It'll catch you by surprise, that's for sure.
yeah.
So what do you want to do? You want to call it?
That's
we
it,
could talk.
right?
We could talk about something else.
We could keep going, but I'm cool.
I have to have a part 2.
Yeah, we'll just bring you back.
Yeah, maybe this does, if it ever goes well, and then you continue to like.
It's going well, Tom.
No, but you know what I'm
It's
saying.
going well, right? No, I'm kidding.
But if like we down like 20 sections or however many people you decide to have in, you're like, yo, we're gonna bring back a special guest. Like we just started getting carried away. I'm down.
Maybe we'll just like, you'll just show up every once in a while when we do Scots.
Yeah. Oh, I'll bring the Scots for the interview.
You'll just
Certain
pop
people
in and be
bring.
like, who's that?
You do
Is that Tom?
You do an interview with Vegan or this guy. Like I'm
Comes in.
down. I'll bring some Scots and
Bring Scots.
I'll be the Scot guy, dude.
We're gonna have to get fucking Scots in bulk.
I think us starting this, no, you know what I mean? Like I don't mind spending the money that I spent. Like I said, I spent like $47 on these. They recognize it. They've known us coming in, so
Maybe
maybe
get the discount out.
yeah, maybe
gotta-
they're just like, dude, take these. Like
Oh,
don't
yeah.
even worry. You know what I mean? Like let's
they
be real
might.
now.
They might start floating us bulk.
Yeah, like no questions asked. Just take them, boys.
They're gonna hear that.
We love
Well,
you.
they got time to consider it then.
Mhm.
Think it over.
This is only the first episode, one of many.
Yes, indeed. So think about if we keep doing this every episode. Fuck, we keeping the lights on.
Yeah, but like I said, thank you.
Of course. Hey, where's the bike dude? You didn't bring the bike guy.
I didn't, dude. I don't smoke weed anymore, but I'm like certain things I forget.
Oh, you just
dude.
forgot.
Yeah, like
where's he going with
I don't
this?
know where I'm going,
Oh,
but,
got
but
it,
like I get
got it.
called all the time. I serve. I've been serving for the last 5 years, bartending. People are like, I want to know what you're on. Can you get me some weed? I'm like, dude, I'm not smoking. I naturally have a slower voice with like squinted eyes, and I forget shit sometimes. Like it's all good, not weed. So I forgot. But yeah.
Oh, it's all good. Well, hopefully I get the next guest to bring a souvenir.
I say to end this.
Well, you brought those, so that's fucking good.
No, to end it though,
You want to blast those full?
all the way through,
Full force?
dude. You pick one and I'm doing the other.
Oh,
Yeah, let's
we're
do
not
it,
gonna
dude.
mix them.
We're treating ourselves, man. This is only gonna be for the better. I say we just slam them, dude.
Let's mix them, dude.
Mix them.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Well, we don't have to. I mean, if you're gonna press me.
I'm pressing, dude. Let's go. I know you're this guy, huh?
Huh?
Now let's mix them. We got the
Let's
mixers.
mix them,
yeah,
dude.
all right,
We're
you're
gonna
right. You're right.
fucking.
I just got excited, man.
I'm sorry.
Good conversations. Just like
Oh, I'm down.
legitimately should treat thyself.
I just was like, we just did a bunch. I'm just like,
You feeling good?
we're
gonna
gonna
wait. We're gonna.
I got nervous.
Yeah.
I was like, am I gonna die? Am I gonna feel like shit in 10 minutes because I just goosed like fucking
Yeah,
5
my
shots of
lady
ginger?
got some fresh ginger and made some ginger tea.
Nice.
And I had a few sips of it before I went into work. I don't know what it was. Maybe because I haven't drank what I thought. Yes, pressed juice is ginger, but the fact that she made it at home from scratch just made me feel like I was feeling weird. So I get what you're saying, man. You never know.
Ever since we've been on the Scots, you see Scots, see a juice place, pop in,
Yeah.
you know they got
Slam
Scots.
one.
Well, no, it's just like I've had some fucking weak ass Scots, like the red ginger. It came out and it was red, and I was just like, "Fuck's this." It was weak.
Yeah, and I guess, dude, because I'm not even a hate on True Nature. I still fuck with them. Their acai bowls are fire, but you notice the difference between like quality.
Yeah, Salute definitely has the bomb ginger shots.
Mhm.
Cayenne. If you guys are ever in Long Beach, hit them up.
Porter just texted. You gotta get this guy.
Oh man, I
Gotta
gotta
get a
get
Porter conversation.
I gotta get Porter's documentary.
Our hour
done.
went by fast too with that guy. Though,
Real
you already
fast.
know. Yeah.
Holy shit, Porter can talk. Porter can fucking talk. All right, well, here's a Tom V. Thanks for coming.
Absolutely, man.
Thanks to Salute, our future sponsor.
Yes.
Brandon Began and Forrest over there for helping out.
Thank you guys.
Wes was supposed to take photos. He wasn't here for a second, was he?
When you're barefoot walking around, dude, you just certain things grab a hold of you.
He's
you know?
still in the
just
phase,
go in the direction.
dude. He's still in the phase. He's fucking popping like it. Shout out Wes, but also fuck you, Wes.
Yeah, fuck you, Wes. We love you.
Love you too.
Cheers, man. Thank you. Goalie Booth 001.
There will
No
be more.
cringe, no orange juice slice.
There will be more. We'll see you next time.